year-round particularly, but when you're here in the wintertime, you often see, you know, the clouds hanging over the mountains, and there's a storm coming in off the Pacific, and rain is falling in the Los Angeles Basin and on the windward side of the mountains, but the clouds just dissipate as they come over the mountains. So that's called a rain shadow. There's so many of you here. I have some really nice illustrations of this sort of thing, but I don't know, even passing it around a few copies, I don't know if it would really be very helpful. But if any of you want to look at these at some point along the way, we can do that. So what happens here is that the moisture comes off the Pacific Ocean. Here is our prevailing resource for storms, and the moist air is forced up on the windward side of the mountains. As it's forced up, it expands, it cools. The relative humidity increases relative to the temperature, of course, and so we get precipitation on the windward side of the mountains in the form of rain or snow. The windward side of these mountains, in places, can average up to 40 inches a year. On the leeward side of the mountains, just down at the base of the mountains in Palm Springs, about 5.5 to 6 inches a year. By the time you get out to Indio, about 3 inches a year, and so on as you go east. The effect of that rain shadow is unreliable and low rainfall, relatively speaking. Intense solar radiation because the air is dry and water is a very important greenhouse gas, so to speak, water vapor is. And so the air is very dry, so we have a lot of intense radiation hitting the desert floor here. And the other thing that happens is because of that heat and because of the pressure differentials between the coast and the inland valleys, the desert valleys, we get wind. So all of those things are the components with which the environmental factors with which the plants and animals here in the desert have to cope. So a rain shadow desert, we can thank the San Andreas Fault for that too.